Now, in this video lecture, we discuss the Cauchy sequence or it is called the fundamental sequence. It is very important in the real analysis and functional Cs. So, we discuss the concept of the Cauchy sequence, example of the Cauchy sequence, and some theorem related to the Cauchy sequence, and important the Cauchy convergent criteria. So, in this video lecture, we discuss first the definition of the Cauchy sequence. Okay, so what is our definition of the Cauchy sequence? A sequence Sn, a sequence Sn is said to be Cauchy sequence or fundamental sequence if for each epsilon is greater than 0, if for each epsilon is greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m such that the mod of Sn plus p minus Sn is less than epsilon for all n is greater than or equal to m0 and for p is greater than or equal to 1. That is, we calculate the difference between these two terms, which is strictly less than by epsilon, then your Sn is said to be Cauchy sequence. In other words, or you can write down the Sn minus Sn1 minus Sn2 is less than epsilon for all n1 and n2, they are the number which is greater than or equal to n. Then we say that the Sn is your Cauchy sequence here. Now we consider the example. Let Sn is equal to 1 upon n be a sequence is a Cauchy sequence. Now, for proving it is your Cauchy sequence, we calculate the difference between these two terms, which is strictly less than by epsilon here. So, we use this concept, let epsilon is greater than 0, there exists integer number, and choose this integer number is n0 is greater than 2f by epsilon. We choose this greater than epsilon, and if n and m is greater than n0, so if n is greater than by n0 and n0 is strictly greater than by 2 by epsilon, so 1 by n is less than or equal to 1 upon n0, which is less than epsilon by 2. Solve this relation. Similarly, for m is greater than n0, which is greater than 2 by epsilon, so 1 by m is less than or equal to m0, which is less than epsilon by 2. Now we apply the definition of the Cauchy sequence. The Sn minus Sn, the difference between these two terms, Sn minus Sn, the Sn is given 1 by n minus 1 upon 1 by m, which is less than or equal to 1 upon n plus 1 upon m, or which is less than or equal to 1 by n plus 1 by m, and using this fact, that is, this is strictly less than epsilon by 2, so it is less than by epsilon, so Sn minus Sn is less than epsilon, so your Sn is a Cauchy sequence here. Now we establish the Cauchy general principle of convergence, a necessary and sufficient condition for the convergence of the sequence Sn is that for each epsilon is greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m such that the Sn plus p minus Sn is less than epsilon for all n is greater than or equal to p here. Now we establish the theorem in two parts. First we prove the necessary condition, that means here we assume that the sequence is convergent and it converges to limit L. Then we establish it is your Cauchy sequence, and in the second part we assume that this condition is true and our sequence is converges to the limit L here. So first we establish the necessary condition. We establish the necessary condition. Establish the necessary condition. Let the sequence Sn, let the sequence Sn be convergent and L be the limit of sequence Sn, that is the limit n tending to infinity Sn is equal to L. So we apply the definition of limit of a sequence for each epsilon is greater than 0. We apply the definition of the limit of a sequence for each epsilon is greater than 0. There exists a positive integer m such that the mod of Sn minus L is less than epsilon by 2 for all n is greater than or equal to m. Now this is the definition of a limit of a sequence. If p is greater than or equal to 1, then n plus p is obviously greater than or equal to m, because n is greater than or equal to m. So we add the some quantity here which is greater than or equal to, obviously this side is greater than m here. So n plus p is greater than or equal to m, so that this statement can be written as Snp minus L is less than epsilon by 2 for all n plus p is greater than or equal to m here. Now we establish this result Sn plus p minus Sn, which is equal to Sn plus p minus L plus L minus Sn. That is, here we add and subtract by L here, and using the triangle inequality, the Sn plus p minus L plus Sn minus L, and this Sn plus p minus L is nothing but it is strictly less than epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2, which is equal to epsilon. So we get the required result here. This n for all n is greater than or equal to m, and p should be greater than or equal to 1 here. Okay, so necessary condition is established. This condition is established. In the converse part, we assume that this is whole, and we prove that our sequence converges to limit L here. Now for this case, that is establish the proof of the sufficient condition, we split our proof in two parts. First we show that our sequence is bounded, then we apply the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, and Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem for the sequences, it says that it has at least one limit point, and using this concept we establish our sequence is converges to the limit L here. So we establish the sufficient condition. The sufficient condition is split in two parts. In the first part we show that our sequence is bounded Then we apply the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, and according to the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, we have every bounded sequence has at least one limit point, say it is URL, and the limit point is nothing but it is a limit of a sequence we establish in this proof here. So we start the assumption for each epsilon is greater than 0, there exists positive integer m such that the mod of Sn p minus Sn is less than epsilon for all n is greater than or equal to m and p is greater than or equal to 1 holds here. This is true. So we establish the sequences converges to the limit L here. Sequences converges to the limit L. Now, first we show that the sequence Sn is bounded. The sequence Sn is bounded. So we assume that for each epsilon is greater than 0, say it is 1, here there exists a positive integer m3 such that m0 not m3, any positive integer m0 such that the mod of Sn plus p minus Sn is less than 1, because epsilon is this for all n is greater than or equal to m0 and p should be greater than 1. Now in particular we assume that this n0 it is equal to n. So we have n0 p Sn0 p minus Sn0 is less than 1. Now we apply the definition of the mod Sn0 plus p minus Sn0 is greater than minus 1 but less than 1, or this is equal to, this portion is equal to Sn0 plus p is strictly greater than Sn0, we rub here, just please solve, Sn0 minus 1, Sn0 plus 1. Now we consider here the small g is the minimum of the S1, S2 and Sn0 minus 1, that is n0 minus 1 term, Sn0 minus 1, this portion, and capital G is maximum of S1, S2, Sn0 plus 1 minus comma Sn0 minus 1, this is the term Sn0 plus 1. So this inequality can be written as Sn0 plus p is greater than g but less than or equal to z. So what it implies? It implies that your Sn is greater than g but greater than or equal to g and less than or equal to g. So it implies that our sequence Sn is bounded. This part is proved here. Now the sequence is bounded. So by the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, by the help of Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, it has at least one limit point. It has at least one limit point and say it is equal to L. So we apply, because the sequence is bounded, so we apply the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem for the sequence of real numbers. It implies that every bounded sequence has at least one limit point here. So we have at least one limit point, and the limit point is L. Now we show that our sequence Sn converges to L as n tending to infinity. That is, this limit and this limit are same here. That means we prove that it is bounded. We apply the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. Then it has at least one limit point, and this limit point is nothing but it is the limit of this sequence here. We establish it. So how we can prove that? We use the previous part. So for given epsilon is greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m such that the mod of Sn plus p minus Sn is less than epsilon for all n is greater than or equal to m and p is greater than or equal to 1, because already this condition is held in the sufficient condition. As L is the limit point, as L is the limit point, there exists an integer m1 such that the S of Sm1 minus L is less than epsilon by 3. We also choose here epsilon by 3 because here we are using the epsilon by 3 concept here. And also for m1 is greater than, m, we have S m1 minus Sm is less than epsilon by 3. Now we solve. First is Sm p, then this one Sm, and this one is here Sm minus Sm. Okay, let's we start the SMP. We given for p SMP minus SMP. Okay, so we start from p minus L, which is equal to Sm plus p minus Sm 1 plus Sm1 minus L plus L minus Sm. Okay, so you can apply here definition, which is less than epsilon by 3 plus epsilon by 3 plus epsilon by 3, because you are applying the triangle inequality and using this inequality along with this, then this is epsilon by 3 and epsilon by 3, so it becomes total epsilon. So Sm plus p minus L is less than epsilon for all n is greater than or equal to m and p is greater than or equal to 1, so that we say that n tending to infinity Sn it is equal to L here. So this is your the proof of Cauchy general. This is the proof of Cauchy principle of. Thank you.